Factors, multiples, and prime numbers. What do 12 cupcakes and 18 juice boxes have in common? Math can help us split them perfectly using factors and multiples. Factors are numbers that divide exactly into another number. For example, the factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Now, how did I get to these 6 numbers? For example, if you take 12 and you divide it by, let's take 3, it will equal to 4, right? But now, what is 4? 4 is a whole number. I'll say it again, 4 is a whole number. So factors of 12 can only be whole numbers, which is what 4 is. An example of what is not a factor is if you take 12 and you divide by what is missing from this list. The first one is 5. 5 is missing from this list, right? So if I take 12 divided by 5, it will be equal to 2, 4. 2, 4, it is not a whole number. Not a whole number. And a non-integer as well. So this is not a factor. I repeat, not a factor. Let's do another example. 12 divided by, what is not here? 9. 12 divided by 9 is equal to 1, 3. This is also not a whole number, therefore it is not a factor. So 9 is not a factor. I repeat, 9 is not a factor. Okay, let's give another example of a factor. 12 divided by 2 is equal to 6. Therefore 2 is a factor. This is a factor. Therefore 2 is a factor. Because 12 divided by 2 is equal to 6. And 6 is a whole number. Therefore 2 is a factor. Multiples. Multiples are what you get when you multiply a number. I'm sure most of you know this already. For example, the multiples of 4. 4 times 1 is equal to 4. 4 times 2 is equal to 8. 4 times 3 is equal to 12. 4 times 4 is equal to 16. And 4 times 5 is equal to 20. This is the basic multiples of 4. Another example is the multiples of 11. 11 times 1 is equal to 11. 11 times 2 is equal to 22. 11 times 3 is equal to 33. 11 times 4 is equal to 44. And 11 times 5 is equal to 55. That's some basic examples of multiples. Prime numbers. A prime number has exactly 2 factors, which is 1 and itself. So, examples of prime numbers: 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. Not prime numbers. 4 is not a prime number. Now, why is 4 not a prime number? Because it has more than 2 factors. So it is 1 as a factor, 2 as a factor, and 4 as a factor. So it is 3 factors. Now, but the limit for a prime number is only 2 factors. So therefore, 4 is not a prime number. Same with 10. 10 has 1 as a factor, 2 as a factor, 5 as a factor, and 10 as a factor. It has 4 factors, which is more than 2 factors, so therefore it is not a prime number. Check 12. 12 has 1 as a factor, 2 as a factor, 4 as a factor, 6 as a factor, and 12 as a factor. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 5 factors, which is more than 2, so therefore it is not a prime number. Prime factorization. Prime factorization means breaking a number into prime pieces. For example, 12 is equal to 2 times 2 times 3. This is a prime number, and a prime number. Every number can be broken into prime building blocks. Let's take 12 for example. 12 can be broken up into 3 times 4. But 4 is not a prime number. So therefore we have to break down the 4 even further. So you can say 3 times 2 times 2. So 3 and 2 and 2 are all prime numbers. So therefore 12's prime factorization is equal to 3 times 2 times 2. Let's do another example. 16 is equal to 4 times 4. But 4 and 4 are also not prime numbers. So therefore to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And that would be the prime factorization of 16. HCF. HCF means highest common factor. Highest common factor is the biggest factor that two numbers share. Here I have a simple example for you between 12 and 18. These are the factors of 12 and 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 and 18. Now, what is the highest factor that 12 and 18 share between these two? It's obviously 6, because it's a 6 over here and it's a 6 over here. But there's no 9 here, and there's no 12 there, and there's no 18 there. So this is the highest number between the two. 6 is also higher than 4 and 3, obviously. So then you would say the highest common factor between 12 and 18 is 6, because it's the highest ranking factor among the two. LCM. LCM means lowest common multiple. LCM is the smallest multiple shared between two numbers. For example, what is the LCM of 4 and 12? First, you must find the multiples of 4. So 4, 8, 12, and 16. That's the 4 multiples of 4. And then the multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18. Just 3 multiples of 6. So, what's the lowest common multiple that is shared between 4 and 12? So, the first common multiple that you find, okay, there's no 4 in 6. There's no 8 in the multiples of 6. But 12, there is a 12. And there's a 12 over here. That is the first common multiple that you find. So, therefore, the LCM of 4 and 6 is equal to 12. It's as simple as that. Here's a quick quiz to finish off. Is 13 a prime number? First, what is 13's factors? 13's factors are 1 and itself, 13. So therefore it is only 2 factors. So it is a prime number. Is 1 a prime number? This is something a lot of people get confused with. No. 1 is not a prime number. Just remember that. 1 is not a prime number. This can come up in exams. They would ask you if 1 is a prime number. And no, 1 is not a prime number. Not a prime number. Is 2 a prime number? Is 2 a prime number? Yes, 2 is a prime number because its factors are 1 and itself, which is 1 and 2, so it has 2 factors. Is 15 a prime number? Let's test 15's factors. 15's factors are 1, 3, 5, and 15. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 factors, which is more than 2. So therefore 15 is not a prime number because it has 4 factors. Therefore 15 is not a prime number. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope you have learned something and take care.